Never forget that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are grifters who love money. In any action that they have, put that on the forefront of your mind. Because, for instance, look at this news. The excuse being used for the sanctions is South Africa's land reform. But why does South Africa need land reform? Let's go back to 1913, when the Union of South Africa decided to issue the Native Lands Act that expropriated 93% of the land that belonged to black Africans and gave it to white settlers, creating the snowball effect in terms of disenfranchisement that we have until today. According to a report from the government of South Africa from 2017, white South Africans own 72% of the land. Black people, or black identifying people, own 4% of the land. The rest of the land is owned by companies, by municipalities, by the government, and some of it isn't accounted for. The target of the government of South Africa is to redistribute 30% of this land up to 2030, an objective that they are slow in attaining. Why is the United States targeting South Africa like this at this moment? A part of it is racism, of course, because there's nothing that white colonizers that live in stolen land, which is the United States as a whole, like less than land reform, because it puts into question their right of stewardship of their own land, and because it challenges a principle that is basic to capitalism, which is private property, and the ability of the state to take over that property. But because we have all been pumped with a ton of information, we see this and we see more things. We see this as a potential retaliation by the Zionist establishment that is embedded in the government of the United States to strike back against South Africa because of its pro-Palestinian advocacy. We can see this also as an opportunity to strike against the BRIC countries and the threat that they may pose to the Western hegemony of the world. Or we can go to something more basic. Did you know that Starlink wants to expand to South Africa? Did you know that one of the requirements for a company to establish in South Africa is to follow the broad-based black economic empowerment rule that forces companies in South Africa to have a percentage of black ownership? A law whose stated objective is to bring equity into the business ownership in South Africa, but that has been criticized because of its application. Do you think that an avowed racist who gives the Zig Heil in public, who believes the stories that his publicists created, that he is actually a genius inventor and that he deserves everything that he got and not just a person who has milked the state for a truly spectacular amount of funds, which is a talent in itself, would be happy about this? I'm not saying that the other reasons aren't valid. I'm just saying that we shouldn't be thinking that these guys, these man babies, playing 4D chess with the world all the time, is giving them too much credit.